We're from the town with the great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh. This is Anthony, and today I want to talk to you about grading cards, the different companies, what they look for, and how you can grade your own cards to multiply your profits on sports cards. There's several companies when it comes to grading sports cards that we can talk about here, but the ones that I think are the primary grading companies, and I'll show those to you here. There's three major ones. The top of the mountain and the king of sports card grading is now and has always been PSA. So PSA is going to continue to dictate the market. So if you have a choice of where to send stuff and you're looking for the best return on your money, what you want to do is you want to send it to PSA. PSA is the king, but there's also some other ones that are pretty good as well. Currently second in line is BGS, which is Beckett, and the only reason that they may be losing second place is just because there's recently been some fake slabs, which is this thick plastic case this is encapsulated in. There's been fake ones that have surfaced recently, so that has really hurt the value of the Beckett slabs. Now I know Beckett is going to work to rectify that because they are a top-notch organization. As you can see, a lot of my expensive cards in the background are graded by Beckett. So I personally am holding all of my Beckett. I have a lot of stuff. As you can see, my LeBron James rookie in the back is a Beckett graded card. So I'm holding that. I'm not moving off of that one yet. Next company that is good, I actually just sent my first submission into them today. It just shipped, is SGC. Now they are currently, I would say, third, if not coming up on second in the market, depending on what happens with BGS. They are a very reputable company. They're very hard on grading too. So those are some very key things I look for. I want to look into a company that is going to be hard on grading because I know that the grade on their card definitely stands up. So yeah, those are the top three guys. But then there's a fourth company that I wouldn't necessarily recommend going to, but as far as the lower ranked ones, GMA would probably be the top of the crappier grading companies. Now, I got this in my personal collection. I got this on the low. This is a Big Ben Gem Mint 10 rookie card. And I was considering getting this sent into PSA. I still may. I haven't really made my final decision yet, but I figured it's encapsulated. It'll never get in any worse condition. So at the very least, I'm happy keeping it this way in my personal collection. But as far as resale purposes, I would definitely move this over to an SGC, BGS, or PSA because GMA does not hold up very well. I'm considering, let me show you what I'd consider sending to GMA. Now, the difference with GMA is they're the cheapest in the market right now. They're only $8 a card. So the kind of stuff I would consider sending into GMA is the kind of stuff that would be a waste of money to send to PSA or to SGC or to BGS, like this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people will buy these graded, but, I mean, raw, they're not worth a whole lot. You know what I mean? And PSA is not going to do a whole lot for their value as far as making them like super, valuable or anything like that. So stuff like this, I'm actually considering sending into GMA. I haven't made my final decision on that yet, but I actually talked with a buddy of mine that just sent in a submission to GMA, and it's this type of stuff that he sends in, and he flips it quick on Mercari once he gets it back. All right, guys, so now what I want to talk about is what does PSA, BGS, SGC, GMA, what do these grading companies look for when they're looking at your cards to grade? So I'm going to show you some pack fresh cards. I got some 1990s hoops here, and this is just a basic checklist, right? But one thing that you want to look for in any card is you want to look at centering. That's the easiest thing to tell on a card. As you can see, this is not a centered card. It's off on the right on this side here, and it's off on the bottom here. So this is doubly off-centered. So this would not be a great candidate as far as centering goes, but that's not the only thing that they would be looking at. The next thing that they would look at is the corners. You know, are they nice and sharp? Now, this is pack fresh. I mean, this has been, you know what I mean, stuck in a pack since 1990, so that is crispy. So essentially, when you see a card that has nice sharp corners like this, and it's not well centered, but then you look at the edges, right? Edges can be a big deal when it comes to grading. Uncentering like this will definitely knock it down a grade. So say this were to come back, the edges are really nice, the corners are really nice, the surface, that's the other thing that they look for. And I'll show you on a different type of card what I mean by surface. But on older cards, surfaces aren't as bad of an issue unless they're faded or there's something on them or something like that. So this, the surface would check out well, the corners would check out well, the edges would turn out well. The only thing on this one that would knock this from being a 10 is the centering. So this right here would most likely be a PSA 9 because of the centering. The rest of it is in good condition. So again, guys, that's kind of what you're looking for. The first thing you look for is centering because that's the easiest to tell. The next easiest thing to look for besides the centering is the corners, because it's really easy to tell if there's a ding in a corner or not. And then finally, the last thing that is easy to identify when you're looking at these is the edges and if there's any wear on them. Things that aren't as easy to identify is surface. And sets like this, like Mosaic, this is a set that's notorious for having surface defects. There can be little dimples in it. Was it the Bull? I'm pretty sure this Bull is one of the cards I got pack fresh. So check this out. I'm going to try to give you the best angle of this I can in the camera. This came out of the pack. I'm trying to, you see that right there? That scratch running all up and down? That is a surface issue. That's something that PSA will look for. And surface will really hit your cards hard. And chromium cards like, say, Mosaic like this, Prism, Optic, which are, you know, those are the big cards, you know what I mean? The top four sets, you know, would be obviously Prism's #1, then you got Optic and Select, and then right behind that is Mosaic, guys. They're all chromium, they're all sets that you're going to have to worry about issues like this Bull has right there. You know, and that has scratches all over it, guys. And that came out of the pack that way. Now, say I were to have this card and I were to, you know, lay it down on the table or something like that. You know, you could very easily scratch a card like this. But this came out of the pack like that. And in fact, these cards here, these Mosaics, are notorious for having like dimples and stuff like that. And essentially what a dimple is it's just like a little, it just looks like a little spot on the surface of the card. And the dimple basically would also knock it down from being a PSA 10. So the more issues you have with the surface of a card, the more it'll knock you down. For example, let's look at this Ja Morant BGS 9. Now, the nice thing about BGS here is they do give you subgrades. So as you can see, this is a Prism card. What killed this card, you see I got 9.5s everywhere except for the surface. So essentially what the issue is on this one, I don't know if you can see right here, right above there, there's like a little speck. It almost looks like there might be a little bit of dust on it or something like that. It's a surface divot. And because of that little surface speck, they gave me an 8.5, which dropped this to being a 9. So this would have been a true gem, 9.5 all the way around if it were not for that tiny little speck right there. So as you can see, that's something that can really bring down the grade on your card. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I genuinely appreciate it. Do me a favor, leave me some comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about it. And until next time, may God bless you, and I'll see you later.